Okay, I think we're live.
Hello, hello. We are live.
This is exciting. I like the first time I've ever been hosting a show. I've been interviewed by you, but I've never had my own show, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fun once you get the hang of it. And I really just want Kevin to put you into your Twitter account so that way the video goes into the Twitter account too as well.
Yeah,
But not only
okay,
that, but
we'll do that.
in
I mean,
yeah,
it was kind of a rush, kind of let's do this and see
I
how it
know he told me.
goes. So yeah, in between like many meetings and stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so how's your week been after Mintow? I mean, that's
it's been
exciting.
insanely crazy. DMs are like insane. I can't even answer everybody. It's just been so overwhelming in the past couple of days that it's just I haven't gotten a grip yet on everything. And not only that, but like our community is really good. And right now, like on Discord, is there's always something going on, something fun happening. I want like something that keeps people engaged on a daily basis, right? We haven't narrowed it down to being engaged every day, but we've been narrowing down days. So for example, like Sundays, we have poker Sundays now.
Yeah.
I think Jilly's having a game right now as we speak. I'm not sure who's winning, but hopefully somebody's winning over there some money. I think I'm giving away some money too. They don't even tell me, my guys. My own guys don't tell me what I'm giving away.
With some money.
They tell me at the end when everything is done. No, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you need to
They just tell
send
me.
this
They
money to this
just
person.
tell me. Yeah,
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? Keeping people engaged. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
like even like people who mint early on compared to the people who mint towards the end, who are obviously like more engaged and excited because they're there for the mint out.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting those people back. So yeah, it is quite a challenge. I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but we'll get there. I mean, I'm confident that we'll definitely get to where we need to be. What about you? How do you like this scenario? Like, how do you like doing live videos now? From changing from doing spaces to now live video with us. What do you
Um,
think?
I like it. I am having a minor stroke about like nerves, because I am just not used to be. I
Yeah,
was like, it's bad enough. It's a big thing, isn't it? When you first come into Web3 and then you realize the way to reach people is through X spaces. And I think a
mhm,
lot of artists, it's not their comfort point to like kind of go into a space, talk about themselves, talk about their collection or
yeah,
whatever. And I'm an artist and a founder, so I'm like got that job where I've got to talk about the utility and everything else that goes around
yeah.
with that. And I think that's like a massive challenge. So that I remember the first few spaces I'd go in, I'd be like sweating and bright red and like and I'd have Fraser on the end of the message going, "Oh God, if anyone asks me about like the contract or like you're gonna have to help," I was like proper frightened by it all. And then you get comfortable with it. So I'm just like, this is like the next step now. I feel like it's just, a different format, and I'll get used to it and I'll enjoy it, I'm sure, because I love
Yeah.
hanging out with you guys. And yeah, I think it's exciting. I feel like it's gonna, reach maybe a different audience, expand my cute and creepy gang a bit, hopefully.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the goal. The
yeah,
goal is to expand it. And not
yeah,
only that, I think that part of the goal is unity, right? Like there's no unity there's not a lot of unity in the space. Let me put it that way.
no,
There is unity, but there's not a lot, right? So I think that doing this and what I want to do with this is that I really want to create this umbrella where, podcasters or even people that do spaces are under this umbrella where we could all share the same ideas, the same values, the same, everything should be cohesive, if that makes sense.
I totally get that. That's really interesting. I was in a space today, and that was the sort of the conversation. It was the 8 train trenches, I think,
Yeah.
possibly. And that's what a lot of people in that space were saying. We need to be just like collabing and kind of cross chain and all that kind of stuff, rather than just being like, I'm like bullish on this chain and I'm not like going to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, and there was a lot of talk. I didn't fully understand it, but about NFT shadows and being able to like have shadows of your NFTs on other blockchains and I was like, wow, this sounds exciting. So you could utilize the utilities from different chains, but where you've originally got your NFT, that's, it can't be moved from there. It's just
Mhm.
literally a shadow of it. And I was like, wow, I need to read up on that. So I did bookmark that little subject to have a little look at, because I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's like, I found that in quite a few spaces, especially when you're on Ethereum, is like people are so anti-gas
Yeah.
fees that they kind of get a bit funny about it. And for me, I'm just like, well, you're either into crypto or you're not. Like, I don't know why you would be, why you wouldn't just, if you believe in the project and believe in what they're doing, what does it
Yeah.
matter what
Yeah.
the game's on?
Yeah.
So, and I think the same about projects. If you're like, if one's winning, everyone's winning, right? So
Yeah.
it's nice to be together and be a proper community, because
Yeah.
that word gets thrown around a lot, and I'm not sure how many people actually truly sort of believe in that and actually do that. So
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
like, we've talked for a little bit now. So, I'm all about like the people and the
yeah,
community and giving back to the community. I mean, there's no better feeling than to give back to your community and seeing them like happy and enjoying what they're getting. Right.
a hundred
So,
percent.
yeah, I think it's a great thing. And I feel like NFTs help me do that better than, for example, I'll give you an example. Like, I hate giving money to charity.
Yeah,
And it's
right.
not because I hate giving money to charities, because I know it's not gonna get to where it needs to get to the final destination. Most of the time it doesn't, right? Like giving back, that word of giving back, I feel like through what we're doing and what we're building here at Rebel Ants, I feel like we can do that in a massive way,
Yeah,
right? Without
I
me going broke, at least.
yeah, right. I'm like, I got to stop giving stuff away. Like, I'm just constantly like, what can I do for my holders? And I'm like, I know, I'll do a t-shirt, I'll do a pin, and I'm like sending it out. But it just is so satisfying, isn't it, that people, to feel like people are getting like serious value from what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell
And
you, I'm really happy Kevin's not here.
don't say that. Oh my god, that's
Really
so,
happy that I'm sure he's listening to
so
me. I'm kidding,
cruel.
Kevin.
He probably is.
I'm
There is a
kidding.
common down there. So,
He's probably
and
crying right now.
I just want to shout out all so talking to community, so
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
FCW crew. So I've probably spoken about them before. We're called the Freaks, the Creeps, and the Weirdos. And in the same way that you're saying you want to lift people up, we were
Mhm.
just all of a similar mindset. We're all slightly creepy artists, like do things that are a little bit different. And we came together and we kind of just whenever one's in a space, we're all in a space, and we just kind of
Yeah,
roll like that, and got each other's backs. And so we've got NF Creeps and Danny's there, and like Nunchuck and Acid, and they're all super talented individuals as well. So yeah, I just want to shout out to them for joining. I can always rely on them to be like, it's never just me in a space.
it's a
We
core
give
team.
it to our crew, so and
Yeah,
and
it's a
Rick's
core
there as
team.
well. It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
yeah,
cool. We have our own core team. Mosaic, obviously Jilly, the whole crew that we have.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
shouting them out. Those guys are really good, especially Mosaic. Mosaic's a trooper. He's like a soldier. Like I don't even know where he sleeps. I don't think he's probably listening to us right
You
now.
know what? I did wonder that when I went in your Discord the other day. I thought whenever I'm in there, and I know I'm on a different time zone to most people, he's there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that.
It was funny because earlier, I think it was earlier today, he was saying something to, I think it was Hans. I think he was saying something to, and he was like, "Well, now I don't sleep, and now now I have to wake up early or something like that." So he's like, "I'm barely sleeping or doing anything." And then I said, "Yep."
That's the way it
No,
goes now.
he's so
You're
good.
in
Let me
three.
tell you, he's so good at what he does. It's like so good. But the
Yeah.
whole team is very good. They're all pushing. Jilly, I see Jilly out there. Shout out to Jilly. I want to know who won this game in the Discord.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. And how much money have you got to give him? That's the other
how much
question.
money do I have to give them? Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
But
No,
anyway,
Discord's a bit of a sticky thing for me. I'm
yeah.
not like, I haven't quite ironed out what I want to do with Discord yet. So, £1 million apparently.
$1 million, Jilly. You're gonna make me go broke
Funny.
soon.
Brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's something I need to work on for the Cute and Creepy Gang, is how to gamify, like you have, like
Yeah.
Discord a little bit, and get people to spend some time in there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what it is that we've been back and forth for almost, actually more than 2.5 years now. Just trying to develop the ideas for this. And even like season one of the battles that we're doing now, it's just honestly it's a test for what's really coming after that, right?
Yeah.
We're still gonna be building on top of what we're building now. So the ideas that we're talking about and that we're writing down and that we're trying to make happen are ideas that are happening already like months from now in the future,
Yeah.
if that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So Like we want to see how it works out, and you know how it goes, and we'll kind of take it from there. But let's talk about you. Let's talk about your art.
Oh my god! Right, shall I share? I'm going to try and share now without like doing anything ridiculous. Here we go. Woo! I did it. I shared a screen.
It,
So yeah, so this is how this if you wanted to go and mint a Lunar Witch, this is where you would come. So we've got like this really I designed the website, Fraser built it. So like
wow, you did the whole website?
yeah. So this is
Oh,
this is
nice.
a he has a buddy who helps him out a little bit as well. But you know, this is where you go to mint a Lunar Witch. So it's cute and creepy gang .io.
Mhm.
But we're working out how you can mint with a mobile device. That we've changed contracts recently, so I'll go back to that anyway. But yeah, so that's us for a little visit. There's like our story on there if you want to go and read about like my whole story. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my Lunar Witch collection is inspired by my crazy gran. She's not with us anymore, but she was an artist. She was like really quirky. She'd like
Mhm.
wear berets and stripy tights and stuff. So she was kind of
Yeah.
cute, and she was also sort of creepy. So she would like hold seances in her house and stuff. And like my sister would be like,
Really?
"Oh, don't make me sleep in the spare room where she holds the seances." You know what I mean? It was kind of like
Yeah.
crazy. So she had these Russian dolls in her house, and I was obsessed with them. And I got a tattoo in her memory, and it was of a little Russian doll. And I
Mhm.
kind of added a little creepy touch to her. And then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, I think I want to do really creepy dolls. So I actually have a whole army of characters, not just Lunar Witch, that I have worked on over the years, and they've all got their own little personality and story and stuff. But I felt like the Lunar Witch one was because she's a little bit spiritual. I really and you know she communes with the dead and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was the right one to go with because there's a lot of lore I've written around it. So all the art's hand drawn. I shall share the collection actually on OpenSea. Yeah, so all the art is hand drawn. There's something like 174 traits.
Mhm.
So there we go. Has that gone on that screen? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is the collection as it stands. So
Wow.
it's can I make those a little bit bigger? Yeah.
I know I own a bunch of those too.
Yeah, you
I
do.
think I won something too when I was minting.
Yeah, did you
Minting last night.
oh so yeah, so they're like there's for 6 one of ones in the collection. We haven't got a huge amount of one of ones because they're worth quite a bit of money. So if I can find, let me go to rarity. Hans minted a mythical, which was this one. So this was the
Of course
first.
he did.
Yeah, of course he did. But
Wow, that's a pretty cool one.
so they're different to the Lunar Witches. They're a little bit different. I haven't revealed any of the art of the one of ones, so like no one's seen it. I kind of wanted to keep it like a bit of a surprise. So one or two, are still dolls, but some of them are more like magical items, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a bounty attached to these. So if you mint one of these, you get
Oh, really?
0.6 ETH back, which is like a
Nice.
really small amount. So yeah, so there's one is gone, so there's another 5, but actually one of them is at like Lunar Witch's nemesis. It's called the Diablerie, and that one's worth 1.6 ETH. So yeah, there's some nice little bounties going on in the
So
collection.
you're still minting, correct?
Yeah, we're still minting. We've got it's a big collection. It's 6666, so 6,666. It's organized into
Wow.
covens. So like you've got your colonies and your
Thanks. Yeah.
gangs. Um yeah, we've got covens. So there's the dark arts, there's nocturnal creatures, lunar nature, and celestial bodies. So also then you've got the mystic moons, which are the bonus airdrop every month. And then the
Mhm.
mythicals. So I guess there's 6 covens really. And the idea I wanted to be able to gamify that. So I've been developing a trading card game,
Mhm.
which is gonna not just like a trade and swap, it's like playable. So
Yeah.
I kind of working out a point system, so that there are points assigned to the traits. If you go on the website, you can check out. But actually, I've thought that through more now, so those numbers will
Mhm.
change. But it's attached to the traits and the rarity, you know. So there's enchantments and spell casting and coven scores, and they all relate to whether they've got like, some of these here, like you've got this one here, which has got the power of 3. Um,
What does that mean, the power of 3?
so it's like the magic number of 3. So supposedly 3 is the perfect number because like 1 is chaos, 2 is unity, and so
Mhm.
3 so there's a whole load of lore that I've written around that. And that comes into the trading cards, so you can play your magic number, like other cards will be able to steal from that magic number. So
Yeah.
so that's kind of where it's going, and it seems to work so far. um and then, but we had like a couple of mints today, actually. I want to
Was
share
was
those.
that your signature on the card?
Yeah, so
Mm.
so basically that is a trait as well. So the ones with the signature are rarer than ones without a sig. So let me go right to the bottom. We had 2 mints today, and it's so funny because they're not obviously what maybe everyone would think would be a favorite. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
on rarity, aren't I? But I love the one. What do I need to go to? What was it? Five.
So how many have been minted so far?
We're on 510.
Okay.
So yeah, this one when this one came today, when it minted, I just love, like, because it's really feels because it's all, you can tell it's all heavily tattoo
Mhm.
inspired. This was so clean, this one, and I was just like, oh, I really like that one. So I thought it would be a good one to share with you guys, because also it's got the
That
owl.
is a really good one, yeah.
I just and there's a whole
I love these.
there's a reason for everything in my collection. So
Mhm.
owls are like really significant to me. So my dad, like, I talk about this quite a lot. I started Vicky Licious when I lost my mum and dad really suddenly, and I'd go and I hadn't put pencil to paper for like donkey's years because I was a graphic designer, heavily into branding, commercial art, and
Really?
it kind of had beaten the passion of creativity out of me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because the studio I worked in was really harsh. So it was like a real it kind of, yeah, it took a little bit of my soul, if you will. And then when my mum passed away and I was like
Mhm.
looking through her stuff, she'd kept all my like art college stuff, all my stuff, like even stuff I'd drawn as a kid. I went, she had she had a horse when I was young, and I painted this picture of it, and she still had that pin to the stable door, and like literally, and I just was like, oh my god, I'd forgotten how it was like every spare minute I used to draw. Like, it was
Yeah.
just my absolute passion. And so that's where the tattoo style came in, is I thought, oh, I'm going to draw a tattoo in memory of my mum. And I did the same for my dad. And it was just sort of the start of this journey, really, because I
Yeah.
became really obsessed with like tattoo culture. And I really,
You're also a tattoo artist, correct?
no, I'm not. No, so I
Oh.
sell my prints like and I put a little tattoo pass in. So if someone took
Mhm.
it for their artist, they know they've got the rights to use it for a tattoo. So
Oh,
I've
got it.
had lots of my art tattooed by someone else, but I'm not a tattoo artist myself. And BB in the FCW, she's the tattoo artist. She's really talented. But
Ah.
but yeah, I became obsessed with tattoo art, and I think the tattoo I drew for my dad was an owl. So like I really wanted to include an owl in the collection, because I
Mhm.
think there's a whole mystery around like owls anyway, and there's like a long history of their association with witches and all that kind of stuff.
They're
So
very mysterious.
they are mysterious. They,
Creepy.
it is believed that witches would transform into owls, and
Yeah.
they're seen as messengers. So in the Lunar Witch lore, the owl is a messenger he brings other witches to Luna so they can sort of dance under the moonlight together.
Interesting.
It's that kind of thing. So he's full of wisdom and kind of prophecy. So
Mhm.
I really wanted to include an owl in the collection. So there's lore around all of it. And if you wanted to read the stories, I'm slowly uploading them onto my
Yeah.
website as a blog. And I try and post sometimes as like little good night stories because I kind of like to do a little Lunar
Wait,
Witch.
so every card has a story? Every NFT has a story behind it?
So every single tummy trait. So like that owl, there's
Oh,
so
I see. Okay.
yeah. So if you let me go out of that. So there's a story for the skull, there's a story for the magic mushrooms, the third eye, there's a
Mm,
story for that one.
mhm.
So every trait has got lore attached to it. Um,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
So I want to know something. Like, we have over 100 people watching already.
Oh wow.
How do you feel about that?
I kind of wish I hadn't said.
No, but
I
that
forgot
wasn't
where I
what I
was
wanted to
with
ask
that.
you. What I was gonna say was that, how where did your journey begin as an artist? Like, where did that come from?
Um, I don't know. I remember as a kid, like I was never. My mum would be like, "Get to bed," and I'd wait till I think everyone was asleep, and then the little lamp would come on and the
Mhm.
sketchbook would come out, and I from like so young, if there was an art competition to be entered, I think I won like the school Christmas card design competition,
Really?
things like that, and I just always knew. I think I'm really lucky in that respect because a lot of people when they're young and someone says to them, what do they want to do? I just knew it had to be a career in being creative. Like I just
Oh,
knew. So that's why I decided on graphic design because I also always loved like the opening credits to films and like kind of typography. And
yeah.
so I went to art college and studied in art college and then went on to do a degree in graphic design. So I've kind of got the both. Um, so yeah, that's where I started with that. And the only thing is being commercially creative it's really hard. I don't think people realize how hard it is that you've got to be creative from 9 to 5 every day,
Every
no
day.
matter what
Yeah.
mood you're in, and it's really tough.
Tough.
And I worked in a studio that was really male and it was really difficult. I'm a bit of a tomboy. Like I box and I like box in the men's class. I'm not with the girl. I am like, I hang out. I'm all my buddies in the FCW apart from one or two are like guys. I'm quite comfortable with that. But in the studio, it was like I was earning less than all of them, and there was this stigma where I felt like whatever I did was never good enough, and there was a
Mhm.
lot of ego. And I think that's where I sort of forgot about being creative for fun, and like just because you love
Yeah.
to be creative. And unfortunately, obviously it is unfortunate, but it was losing my mum that led me back to that path, really, that
A
rediscovery.
creative
It's
path?
like a rediscovery,
Yeah.
like because she'd kept everything so lovingly,
Mhm.
and obviously that was so important to her. It kind of made me realize the importance it had to me. I'd sort of forgotten because I was a bit beaten down by it. And that's when I woke up one morning and I just said to my boyfriend, I'm not going into work today. I'm just gonna, like Acid saying, commercial design kills your soul. He's another
Yeah.
fellow commercial designer. But I just said to him, I'm just gonna have my notice in today. And he was like, do it, you'll get work. And I was like, all right then.
Mhm.
And I never looked back. So I started freelancing, which is like a whole different ballpark, you know. But
Yeah,
but
that
it gave me
happens
the
a
freedom to
lot.
do this.
Yeah. That happens a lot. I mean, that happened to me too. I think I talked about it in one of the podcasts. I usually talk about it all the time, but I remember it to me happened a little differently. It was I was in college. There was an art show, and I remember everybody was like, "Oh, bring your entire portfolio," and we were all like excited about it. We're like, "Oh, it's an art
Yeah.
show." It was, yeah, I'll bring mine. I'll bring everything that I have. And I remember bringing the entire portfolio, and it was stolen that night.
No
My
way.
Yeah, my entire portfolio was stolen, and I fell into like a
Ah,
really bad depression, and I didn't want to draw anymore. It was
oh
over.
my goodness.
Yeah,
I did
didn't
not
want to
know
do
that.
anything anymore at all. Right after that,
That's just awful.
yeah, it became a thing that it became very emotional. So when I did draw, it was because something like really emotional was happening. Like I
Yeah.
remember being young, and I remember going something through, with my family or whatever, and I remember being so angry that I grabbed like a small pencil,
Yeah.
and there was like this huge wall in my room. I remember just drawing the entire wall. I just drew the entire wall all day long. just because I was so pissed off about what's going on that
Yeah.
that's how I kind of let my emotions out. It was through just
It's an escape,
drawing.
isn't it? It's a chat,
It's an
like a
escape, yeah.
channel. Yeah. I get that because that's when my mum died, I'd go and sit in her house and I would
Mhm.
work on this tattoo and I'd redraw it and I'd redraw it until I felt it was perfect, and it was just so. And I think that's why I love tattoo culture is it's so cathartic. Like you create this vision in memory of somebody and then you've got this like physical thing on you that
Mhm.
you're carrying around with you. It's like she's literally with me every day,
Every
that
day.
kind of. And it was that sort of putting a beauty on something that was really painful. And I think that's why, like, again with the Lunar Witch collection, for me it's like it's a lot of the lore I have written is about finding your way through darkness and like her
Mhm.
being a bit of a guiding light. Like the original first trait I drew was the moth, and that's its power is to guide Luna even through her darkest times. So I think that's how I see creating art for me is that
Yeah.
that little guiding light, which and it's really positive
Yeah.
thing. You can create beauty out of something that is, you know, maybe not so nice. Because I know you did a collection for like about men's mental health, didn't you? I've
I
seen that.
did. It's a collection, called On Voice Echoes.
Yeah,
It's actually on OpenSea. I think the collection has about 12, 13. I think. I'm not
yeah,
100% sure. I don't remember out the top of my head, but, um, it's a collection that started from depression, actually.
yeah,
The drawings, I fell into a really bad depression, a few years ago. And people sometimes they just don't know how to deal with that. Let's
yeah,
put it that way, right? So, again, like my way of being out of it is to draw, right? So then
yeah,
I will draw my emotions and how I felt at that moment. Like if you see some of those drawings now, you can see that there's a lot of emotion in them, right? But not only that, but then I realized, a friend of mine was looking at my drawings and they're like, you need to put that on OpenSea, like you need to sell them, or you need to let people see them because people will interpret that with whatever they're feeling or were feeling during a certain time frame in their lives, right? And they can resonate to that. And I think that it'll help a lot of people if you do that.
yeah,
So I did. So then that's where that collection came from and was born,
yeah.
basically.
No, it's wonderful. I have looked at it. It is a wonderful collection for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
funny because right after we minted out, there were some people actually looking at it and buying some of them
Oh, cool.
and reaching out to me, and in the DMs telling me like, "Hey, I just want you to know I went through some stuff and I feel like this drawing depicts that, right?" And
That's
I
so
and I thought that was
nice.
pretty cool that some people said that to me, which was
Yeah,
great.
that's so cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was the other thing I found, like, I perhaps go in a supermarket and someone had asked me about my
Mhm.
tattoo, and it gave you this way of being able to openly talk about something that had happened to you, like, and it's to a complete stranger, which is sometimes a lot
Yeah.
easier than talking to people you know,
Yeah, it
and
is.
quite often they'd be like, "Oh, actually, I lost my dad or I lost my mum,"
Mhm.
and they maybe also have ink as well. And I just felt like there's this real connection it gives you with people,
Yeah.
which is kind of at the level. So yeah, I'm like completely obsessed.
Yeah. I'm very open with what I went through, just
Yeah,
purposely done because I want other people that go through it to know that I went through it too, and here I'm still here, right?
yeah,
I do have friends that I've lost, for the same reason, right? I lost 2 very close friends to the same exact thing, and it was just weird because you're thinking to yourself at home, like, "How can that happen?" Like,
yeah,
"How is that possible?" Or not
yeah,
even that, or sometimes you just think to yourself like, maybe I could have done something, or maybe I could have said something or spoken to them before, something happened, but obviously that's not the case. You never really know what someone it's really thinking, and that's why I'm, like, very open, and
yeah,
I've always been very, like, positive and always been very, talkative about, like, the mental health part and the depression
yeah,
part and all that kinda stuff because it's real. It
yeah.
does exist. It's real.
It affects so many people. I mean,
Yeah.
like, even before I lost my mum, I was in a similar place, and I remember feeling like I couldn't go back to the studio, and Jace going into the studio for me and saying to the art directors, like, "Look, Vicky's really not well. She is not doing well." And they're like, "What do you
Mhm.
mean? It's like the life and soul of the office." you know, like she's always smiling. And it was actually, but that was just not the truth of actually how I was feeling. So I think it's Kevin's in. Yeah, I think it's really important to be open, because if people hide so much, and I think, you know, it's you don't have to be frightened to speak, because it's surprising how
No, you
many
shouldn't.
people, when you start talking about it, how many people have been through things like that, you know. So
Yeah, the problem is that there's a stigma in the world that men
yeah.
shouldn't be talking about their feelings, and it's
Oh,
a real stigma that really does exist, right?
oh, it does. Like for sure. Like the boxing gym I go to, Mo, my boxing trainer, will tell you how many guys that place saves, like in terms of like having an outlet,
Mhm.
somewhere to go. And Mo's like a really supportive guy, and I've been there where I'm seeing him outside, like hugging the biggest guy you've ever seen, you know, because
Yeah,
and it's just, there aren't many places like that for guys to go that they feel safe and can be like open about how they're feeling, you know.
yeah,
So it's important
yeah.
for
I mean,
sure.
people should feel safe in any environment. They shouldn't feel like they shouldn't have to talk about anything. You know,
No,
it's just, I'm very open. I always talk about everything. You know,
no,
and
I think
Kevin,
that's
I
why
don't miss you. I don't
I
miss
like
you,
you
Kevin.
straight away, because I was like, I don't miss you, Kevin. That's just mean. But yeah, I think you can tell that about you and Kev. You're both really open, and I think that's why I was like instantly connected with you. You know, it's
Yeah,
cool because
Kevin
I'm
is
a
more open than me. He's very open.
bit.
That's why I don't like him.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
I
You know,
know you are. Oh, I
he
can
just
just Ukaswaka's down there as well. I can see him in the comments. Hey, Dave.
he better get on that plane tonight. We got a show tomorrow morning.
Oh God, don't miss your flight. You'd be doing the morning roast on your own.
I know I'll be doing the morning roast by myself. Let me tell you, people really love that morning roast show.
I love it. I've tuned in the last few weeks. It's been
Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah,
it's good. It's
it's
good.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a good shout to do like a little morning coffee. Like it's like a little coffee hour, isn't it? For me, it is like mid
Mhm.
morning, so it's great. Yeah.
It's good. So where can people find and mint the cute and creepy gang?
So we are on cuteandcreepygang.io. So we have our own website. So we're just like there's just two of us. We're not a big team or anything. It's literally me and Fraser. Fraser, we've got our own contract. He did all that stuff.
Mhm.
We've actually got a really cool functionality in our contract. So we have enforced royalties for whole like original minters. So if you mint a Luna Witch and you sell it on, you get the royalties, not us. So we've
Really?
implemented that in the contract. But that means that say you sell it on to person Y and then they sell it on again, the
Mhm.
original minter still gets the royalties from that. So you get rewarded for being the first to mint. So I think that
Wow,
was a
that's cool.
really cool thing that we switched up.
Yeah, that's cool. I
I
like
think
that.
with Christmas time we did that. We were kind of talking to OpenSea a lot, and they were like, no, 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 we're not going to implement that. So that has to be done through Magic Eden. So we kind of,
Mhm.
Magic Eden, FYI, were amazing. Like their customer service was just awesome. They were really helpful. Just as soon as you message them, they're replying, whereas
Really?
OpenSea, not so much. But
Yeah, OpenSea
yeah,
is at a
yeah.
OpenSea's at a different level. But you know what? OpenSea, it's I feel like with the new, I don't know if you played around with the
Yeah,
new
I have a little
pieces.
look. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the
Yeah.
interface. Yeah. So yeah, you can mint from straight from our website, and then if you mint two at the moment, you get this bonus airdrop. So
Mm.
I'm gonna try and find that. Where is that? So I have got a little tab saved somewhere. Yeah, here we go.
See,
Um,
Kevin said, I'm not afraid to embarrass myself anymore. I'm en route from Boston.
oh.
Be ready because I got plenty to embarrass you with tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
So yeah, so we
Mhm.
do like this little. So every month, I don't know if you know, obviously we're a moon witch. So we have every full moon, I create a new mystic moon. I'm calling them. So each full moon has its own name. So like January is the wolf moon. February is worm moon, but they all have more
Wait,
multiple.
what's March?
March was so
March,
this is
baby.
like March. Here we go. So this was this month's. So she's a crow moon. So also the snow moon. So you can. So last year I did snow moon. This year I'm doing crow moon.
So
So
detailed. I love it.
she's a little Kokeshi doll. Because
Yeah.
I kind of thought, well, okay, so I'm doing Russian dolls. Maybe I should like look into other dolls that kind of got nice lore about them. And
Mhm.
Kokeshis are kind of cool. They're seen as like really good, like protectors of children, which I really loved the idea of that these little. So I've got a few of these which I really like. So if you mint 2 lunar witches, you basically get this as an airdrop for a bonus, like as a reward,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of nice. And I don't know, I'm thinking about potentially like doing something where if you hold X amount that you always get the airdrop. I don't know, I need to speak to
Yeah.
Fraser about how that would work and how many they need to hold. But yeah, so that is this month's like bonus airdrop. So yeah, she's the crow moon, and I've called her Corvana.
Corvana.
Yeah. So she's kind of nice. I like her. So the whole idea
She looks
behind.
cool.
Say again, sorry.
She looks cool. I like her.
Well, yeah, I kind of it was a little bit different. I like the black and the red, and
Yeah, I like that.
it's a little less colourful than what I would normally do. But it was also a blood moon, this full moon. I don't know if you know, and we had an eclipse as well. So she's going to score quite high on the old trading card, let me tell you. So she's going to be like some sort of super witch. You're going to want to have her in your card deck for sure. But yeah, she's all about like the transition from like winter to spring. So it's all about embracing new beginnings, which I kind of like, and is supposedly the cawing crow like signifies the start of spring.
Yeah.
So that's again, you can read the little story. I've put a little blog post up on that. Yeah,
That is so cool.
she's cool. So yeah,
Let me ask you, what do you use to draw these? Like what platform?
it's all Procreate.
All of it?
Yeah, so I do it all in Procreate. So that was
Mhm.
last year. She was the snow moon. So she was like a snow globe with the little moon in her tummy. She's actually my favorite Morana. She's
That's very detailed. So you do all these details in Procreate?
yeah. So I sort of I've gotten like it was a big transition to go to Procreate. I found, like, I know a lot of people found the same. I was like, I cannot, how do I draw on a screen, you know? I
Yeah,
was like,
I do use Procreate for everything.
yeah. And I did sort of struggle with that initially. But
What did you use before Procreate?
I will just pro markers and ink and like pencil, you know, and I would, because of the detail and because everything is so like, I've clicked on the screen there. Have I done something funny? No, say. Yeah, so because I've done so much detail and everything I draw tends to be quite symmetrical, that is a nightmare freehand. Like what I would do is I draw like quite often half, and then I use layout paper and mirror it, and then I put more layout paper and do the whole thing as one, and then eventually I'd transfer that onto like Bristol board or something like that, and then I would do pencil line, and then I would do the ink, and it was oh my god, the process was like so long. And then if you make one little mistake, you've got to start that again, you know, because the line work is so neat. So it's like so obvious if you mess that up. So so when I finally got into Procreate, I was like, oh my god, I can like do mirrored screen and
Mirror,
like, oh my god, it was like amazing. And that I can like hold down the pen to get like a really sort of smooth line. You know, instead of it taking days upon days upon days to do one, now I can do it in a day. You know, I can spend like 6, 7, 8 hours doing something rather than like 8 days, you know? So I love that because I literally carry my iPad everywhere. So, you know, I'm flying somewhere, or I'm sat on a train, or like it's like great. Whereas before you have to have your setup, don't you? You've got your 5,000 colored pens and like,
See, I barely carry my iPad anywhere.
Do you not?
I'm afraid that it's gonna get lost or stolen or something, and I'm gonna lose everything.
You need Apple Care, that's what that's for.
And I have like, the Apple Pencil, I have like 10 of them with like a million points everywhere.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, because I'm so afraid that I'm gonna lose something or I'm gonna be in the middle of drawing something. You know, when you're in like in the zone and
Yeah.
all of a sudden the pencil is like, there's no more power. You gotta
Oh,
charge.
yeah, that's a good shout. I've actually got 2 pencils, but my
I
old
always have them charging.
it's a good shout. I might have to get a second one now you said because that does happen. I'm halfway through and you're like, "Oh, no, it's gone. It's died."
Yeah, it's gone, and then your whole thing just turns backwards, and you're there like, "Ah."
Oh, is that Fraser commenting there? Scarecrows for
Yeah,
Halloween. Okay, that is
once
brilliant.
again, Scarecrow, Vicky, we should bank that for our Halloween collection. Yeah, that's
Brilliant.
because Kevin said, "If you can draw Scarecrow, since I won't do it for him." So let me tell you what's happening
Okay,
and
tell
why
me
he
this.
said that. He's been hounding me for months about, like, drawing this Scarecrow collection that he has in his head.
Okay.
And I told him, I was like, "We're doing, like, a million different things right now." Like, I'm really I'm really focused on the Ape Chain collection that I'm drawing because I want it to be, like, really, really good.
Yeah.
So, I told him once I was done with that, then I'll work on that for him. Calm down, Kevin.
Calm down, Kevin.
It will happen.
So
Takes time.
the funny thing is with the Lunar Witch stuff, any trait you see that has some sort of laser attached, that's
Mhm.
Fraser. He was like obsessed. We gotta have lasers. So
Oh,
like
really?
lightning eyes, whatever. And I was like,
I think I have one of those. I think I have one.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the Fraser was like, there's gotta be lasers. I was like, okay, calm down. I'll do
Yeah.
some.
It was funny because when I was drawing the V2 Battle for the Colony ants, the one that we just minted out,
Yeah.
I would send like a picture to Kevin, right? On a completely different question about something. And then he will send it back to me with 3 million different reasons why there was a line somewhere that he didn't like.
Oh my God,
I'm like, "What
Kevin.
are you talking about? Like, who's even talking to you about this right now?" He's like, "Yeah, but it's there. I can see it."
Oh my God.
Nobody can see that. No one. He's
Oh,
like, "Zoom in, it's there."
zoom in, like he's like that. Like
Yeah.
anyone's ever looking that close to an NFT.
But then he will put it in my head, so then I would have to go back and redraw the whole thing because he would, like,
Um,
stick it into my head that something was wrong.
Me and Fraser did
So
so many
mean.
tests, like
He's
so
fired.
many tests. So he's fired,
Fired,
no,
Kev.
he's fired. We did so many tests, like so he'd be like, right, let's test this. And we'd like test say 666 and we'd go through each one.
Yeah.
And then there'd be like this is a Procreate nightmare when you've got a million layers. There'd be like a random black dot where I've obviously put my pen down
Yeah.
on the screen and then trying to find where that was to like get rid
It
of it.
sucks. I know.
It's like such a brain
It
explosion.
sucks, especially when you have 1,000 layers going.
I was having to have
It's the
more than one
worst.
Procreate file just for Lunar Witch because there was so many layers I'd like max out and it'd be like,
Yeah.
"Nope, can't have any more layers." I'm like,
So let
"Oh."
me tell you what I did. I found a trick for that. So even after you finish all your layers and all the collections, so what I do is I move it into Photoshop.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I would
Yeah.
I would open it in Photoshop and then I'd add the new lot in then afterwards, you know, so
No, so what I was doing in Photoshop was that I was looking at it by pixel
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
because in Photoshop, you can zoom in all the way into the pixel.
yeah,
So if you really look at the drawings from the collection, um, every pixel was looked at, like
yeah.
every single pixel to make sure that it was the right color.
Yeah, so
It was
that's what
crazy.
we took it all in after I finished, I'd take it into Photoshop, and that's where everything was exported from, and that's
Yeah.
where yeah, and I tried to name all the layers to make it easy easy, but even that made
That gets crazy, yeah.
like, yeah, it was
Yeah.
absolutely mental. But,
Madness.
it's kind of fun. It's like there's one thing I sort of say, like when you've got like a generated collection and you've created all the
Mhm,
art, when someone mints one, it's like so fresh to like see
mhm,
something you've created, but you've never maybe thought of that combination because
mhm.
obviously the coder's done that, and that's like kind of clever, you know. So, like I say, today when those two were minted and they popped out, and I was like, oh, they're really perfect, you know. Like I was
Yeah.
buzzing when I saw them, you know. It's an exciting way to look at your own art.
It's exciting.
It's really unique, I think, in
It's
terms.
exciting. You know, I didn't think that people would like the ants with the black background,
They pop. They are. I love those black backgrounds
and
because
everybody loves them.
so like people were asking to swap in
Yeah, people
Discord.
were
Did
going
you see
nuts.
that? They were like, anyone with a black background want to swap an ant? Like, no, don't be
Yeah,
stupid.
I didn't think that they were gonna go that crazy
No.
for him,
It
but they
it's
did.
just the colours really like sometimes it's like I
Mhm.
say when sometimes one Lunar Witch pops up that's actually really quite got the simpler traits. It's quite often my favourite, and I think
Yeah.
that's what it is with the black ants. It's like the black background makes those colours on the ant like really pop, and it's so clean. Like
Mhm.
you know, it's wicked. Yeah.
Wait till you see the new collection.
Oh wow, I can't wait.
I know,
I
I
think you
can't.
might have to send me a sneak peek. I'm always doing this to people, like, "Can anyone just send me a little image?"
You know, I posted that sneak peek video, which is my PFP on X.
Oh,
Um,
yeah?
yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So, yeah. So think of like the Azuki collection,
Yeah.
sort of like that, but more detailed. That's what I'm gonna
So
say for now.
so what was your inspiration for the Rebel Ants? Like, what like
Um, jeez, honestly, I was just drawing stuff, and I just came across, I don't know, this ant that I drew. If you look at the V1s,
yeah, I've got a few of those, they're cool.
yeah, the V1s are very quirky because they were meant like more for kids, right? That's when I first started learning about NFTs and stuff like that, and how to like really sell them and make them and that kind of stuff, right? But I just drew an ant out of nowhere in my notebook, and I was like, oh, this is it. That's how it happened.
That's so
I
cool.
was like, I have to evolve this somehow. So then we did V1. That didn't work out so well because obviously we're learning. There was mistakes in the artwork, like we were just learning, honestly. And then when we started doing V2, it took me about a year to draw the whole thing because you can't draw every day.
No, you can't. I
Yeah,
found that. I think it was probably about 16 months in total, I think, that we
yeah,
were like drawing and then testing it. For me, it was quite hard because I was so new. Like Fraser has
mhm,
been around in crypto for a while, so he's like really familiar with it all. And him having to explain to me and talk me through how it works, and then essentially deconstructing my art, like
mhm,
getting your head around, like, well, how would this work as like it all coming together and like how would you separate? And initially, I made it too complicated, and then
yeah,
realize that actually it doesn't need to be that complicated. It only needs to be certain elements that change. And yeah, it's quite the learning curve.
yeah.
Like when you're used to just creating something flat on a piece of paper and it's
It's
just
just
there.
there. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's and obviously I'm used to layers because I work in layers for like commercially with Photoshop
Mhm,
for like photograph work I do and whatever. But it was a really that initial getting started. Like now I'm sure it wouldn't be so time consuming because I wouldn't have that period of time where I was trying to
yeah.
understand what we're trying to achieve. But and we did like a free mint as well before Lunar Witch of dead cute sugar skulls. I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
did.
Yeah, have you seen that? Have you seen that
Yeah,
collection?
I think you showed me.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you showed me.
yeah. It's like that was like 10,000. It was free, and they went super quick, like in less than 2 weeks, I think it was. If I'm
Really?
not, yeah. So they were really cool. But we thought that I guess like we realize now it's all experience, isn't it? We thought we'd get more cute sugar skull holders over to mint Lunar Witch, but I
Yeah.
guess you realize quite quickly that a lot of people who mint free stuff aren't people who actually mint actual paid for stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of a bit of some people are just in it for the giveaways, aren't they? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you know what I
I
mean? And that's fair enough.
They wanna know what they wanna get, what they can get out of it, right? A lot of people are not in it for the art, they're more
Yeah,
for, what can the art do for me, basically,
yeah,
which is
100%.
fine. I mean, I like that too. It's not uh,
And
uh,
that's okay,
about
everyone's here
yeah.
for different reasons, aren't they? Some people like meme tokens, some people like
Mhm.
art, some people wanna, like, stake their NFTs, and every collection offers something
I'm in
different.
it for the art.
Me
And you
too.
know what? People will tell me 1,000 times, "You're not in it for the art, you're in it because you're trying to make money out of it." But I haven't sold any NFT, well, I did sell 1 out of
Yeah,
my entire collection,
yeah.
which we're not gonna talk about here.
Okay,
But
okay. No,
I
I
sold 1.
I haven't sold any NFTs. I collect them, and I kinda get really emotionally attached to them.
Yeah, no, yeah, you do.
I'm like,
You
I can't.
really do.
I've been lucky and minted a couple of one of ones, and like I minted a one of one Scooger out of the
Yeah,
Doodlegenics, and like Scooger's one of my favorite artists, and he's part of the FCW. Love him to bits. Like
yeah.
he's actually Acid's neighbor. They live on the same street. So but yeah, like I can't. I'd never sell that. Like people could offer me silly money for that NFT. I'd
Yeah,
never sell it.
I never sell it, yeah. So, the way that I got into NFTs with Kevin actually, and Kevin will talk about this for hours, is that we were really big fans of Pablo Stanley. And I don't know if you know
Um,
who Pablo Stanley is. He's a huge artist in the
yeah.
world. Like Pablo is known everywhere. And he created the collection Robados, right?
Okay.
Which it's now nothing, but it's a long story. But anyway, he created Robados, and we were like totally in love with Robados. And after he created Robados, he created Humankind, and those were amazing, amazing, amazing work of art. I don't know if you ever seen Humankind.
No, I don't think I have.
And then something happened. There was like a fallout, and he just kind of, left the projects or sold the projects. We're not even sure 100% what happened, but he went to go do like other things. And the platform actually where we met from, Bueno, that was his creation. His team
Oh,
did that.
really?
Yeah, that's his thing, his baby. And he left that too. I think he sold it to someone else, and then he is creating like some other stuff that has to do with photography, and also has to do with a lot of art. Like he's very big on the art
Yeah.
culture, the art world, right? Like I remember when we went to NFT NYC last year. I actually went to his no, not last year, maybe 2 years ago. I went to his he had like an art show in New
Oh,
York City of all his NFTs, and it was amazing. It was really good.
oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, so that's how we really got into NFTs was through Pablo and his collections. Like we love that collection.
Well, I think, like, if you're in it for the art, like, you're never ever truly
It's about
run
the art.
by anyone, are you?
Mhm.
Because, if you've got the piece of art and you love it, then it doesn't really matter, like, what happens with that NFT,
Yeah.
I would never be somebody who'd be into trying to flip and kind of it's just not my thing. Um, which I think is probably typical of most artists, isn't it? They kind of wanna collect other art and kind of have a
Mhm.
passion for it that way. So yeah, I
Love it.
consider as like a collectible art collection rather than like a PFP
Mhm.
collection, So, although we are building like a little VIP area on our website
Yeah.
that you'll be able to access multiple versions of your Luna Witch. So when you mint a Luna Witch,
Oh.
unbeknownst to you, there's more than one version being created. So me and Fraser were like, how do we get people to use the IP rights like easily? And we
Mhm.
thought, well, maybe they'd want their witch without a background or without the frame, or maybe they want it PFP optimized. Or so we've kind of created these versions. We're gonna essentially be able to log in with your wallet, all your witches would pop up, and you can select the version of that witch that you want to use, which I think would be quite cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So another thing that was cool is that someone who I care about actually recently, for my birthday, actually made me one of the On Voice Echoes collection thing. She put it on a canvas,
Oh, cool.
and yeah, she just finally gave it to me a few days ago, or yet was it yesterday? Maybe yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And it looks amazing on a canvas,
Yeah. I
like
love it. So I
amazing.
do prints all the time with my thing and pin them around everywhere, and I've all my NFTs I frame that they're on the other side of the wall, so I, like, stick
Yeah,
them in frames, and because I think I don't want them just sat in my wallet, I want them on the
yeah.
walls, I want them inspiring me every day whilst I'm working,
Do you
so
get excited when you look at your own artwork? Because I do. I
I
get
do.
like super
I never
excited
I
about it.
I used to get like super critical and kind of,
Yeah,
and I
everybody
think there
does.
is that element. But
Yeah.
now, like I think especially, like I say, with that whole generated system where you kind of a piece of your art pops up,
Mhm.
but you've never actually seen it before. It's like
I know, it's super
I can't
exciting.
remember how many like infinite possibilities there were when we ran the amount of traits we had and like how many versions you could possibly
Mhm.
generate. So no matter how much you've tested or like thought of a combination, like it's wicked. I love that is my favorite thing is seeing when someone's minted and you're like, oh, and I'm like, Fraser, this is
I
a
know.
nice. He's like, oh, check this one out, and it's like we buzz off it,
Yeah.
It's really
When
cool.
It's funny because when people were minting the ants, as they were showing the picture, some of them I was like, "Ah, I wish I would have had that one for myself." Like
So I'll tell you a true story.
damn.
A couple of my dead cute sugar skulls were on the floor, and I really liked them, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick them up. They're only a couple of bucks. I'm gonna pick them up. I want to do some more t-shirts and stuff, and I thought, oh well, if I
Yeah,
own it, no one can complain.
yeah.
So
It's funny. So when you actually click on the ants on like OpenSea or maybe on Magic Eden, right? Like you can really see the colors pop a lot more. So even when you print it on a really high quality canvas or like really good printer, you will see how like good it looks. Like I want to put them all over my walls in my room.
oh,
Like,
you should.
right.
You definitely should. Like
Yeah.
for sure. I think I've got. Hang on, I've got some here. Here we go. I got them here, loaded, ready to go.
Oh, look at your
There we go.
collection.
Look at that. This is you. This is you
Got
on
a
my.
nice little collection
Look
there.
at that. Yeah, there's some really cool ones. I like this one's really cool. The hat.
Yeah, so that's funny because those have the old logo from V1s. If you look at the A in
Okay.
the
Yeah,
top.
the
Yeah,
aim. Yeah,
yeah. That's
I
a
don't.
logo from the old ones.
It was exciting, like to everyone trying to get a hold of the moon. Where is the moon now? He'll be on most rare, I guess. Will he? There he is.
Yeah,
This guy was sending
that
everyone nuts.
that was such a celebrity.
I know. Everyone was like, "Who's got the moon out? Has anyone minted it yet?"
Yeah,
It's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
No.
Luna Vortex, on our Discord and on X, she was the one who minted it out. She minted 57 of them,
Wow.
and she didn't even know she had it for, like, a quick second, and then all of a
Oh my
sudden, she DM'd me that she was like, "I think I got it," and I was like, "What? Got what?" And she sent me a picture of it. I'm like, "Yep, you got it."
Yep, you got it. I for sure
I
thought
was like
Hans was gonna get
yeah,
that.
I was like, "Hans is gonna kill you. I just want you to know that."
I thought for sure. I thought he's just gonna mint the whole collection right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it
Hans
was
really
cool.
wanted that one.
No, it I when I saw that one, I wanted that one. I thought maybe I'll be lucky.
Everybody
Maybe I'll be lucky.
was for it. I mean, I really like the Rangers. The Rangers are pretty cool. People were looking for it.
Yeah,
And then the ninjas, people were looking for those too.
yeah.
Those were
I've got a few. I can't remember how many I've got, but I got a nice little set.
yeah. It's funny because some people are they're selling some of the really good ones, and
Yeah, I saw one here was listed.
yeah, some of
Yeah,
them are listed, which is weird.
yeah. What's
But I
that?
think some of the people that are listing, they probably don't know that they're getting rewarded later on. But whatever,
Yeah,
it's all right.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let them list.
Yeah, let them
Let them list. I'll be
more,
sorry.
more money in my pocket.
Oh, it's so cool.
Primo, Mo's in the audience right here. Hans is a legend. Yes, he is.
He is a legend.
Actually, we met through Hans.
We did. It was Hans.
Yeah,
We minted some Lunar Witches, and he was like, "You
yeah,
need to connect with these guys." And also, he gifted me a GU as well. So
yeah. GUs are amazing.
I actually bought one the other day because I saw one that I just
Yeah,
was like, "Oh God!" It was so sick. It was like bright green. It had the
yeah.
shiny skin. It was like pink
Oh man,
mohican. Oh, it was like I
when
got.
was it? What's today? Wednesday? For me, it's Wednesday. On Saturday night, I was I was I was gonna go sweep GU, right? Because I
Oh
had
my
an
God!
I had an impulse.
I'd have to win the lottery to do that.
So then I started clicking on a whole bunch of them, and for some reason it wouldn't go through. It
Oh,
just would not go through.
so I tried to transfer, my GU into my, like, Ledger
Mhm.
wallet, and it wouldn't let me. on the weekend. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It was saying there was an issue with the contract, so I don't know whether there was something. It said contact the original contract provider or whatever. I can't
Yeah.
remember the notification. I thought I'll leave it and try again because I wanted to have my GUs in the same place.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
have them all over the place. I have like a million wallets.
yeah.
But
Well,
I do have a Nano. I use the Nano for like
yeah,
my
that's
really
what I
expensive.
use, the Nano Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Ledger.
But my one doesn't have the full bodied.
The
Um,
Ledger?
no, my GU, you know, they've got like the full bodied, like extra
Oh,
simple
yeah, yeah, yeah.
phone.
You have to that's a different collection.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my one hands gave me both, but
Oh,
the
he
one
did? The matching one?
yeah, he did give me the matching one. So, yeah, the other one is like I need to go and get the matching one, I guess.
Yeah, Hans is so cool. Hans is like the angel above the NFT
Yeah, he
people.
is. He
He's
is.
just
I was in like
he's
I
so
just
good.
I saw he was in a space with Mason and it was like
Yeah.
an 8 space and the two of them were just so nice. They were like, "Oh, you need to check out Vicky's art. It's tattoo art. It's really cool." And I was just in there hanging
Mhm.
out and I just thought they didn't have to do that for me. You know, that was really it's nice when people do things like that, you know?
Yeah, no, they're great. Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole community, like, have been really like a couple of them have like DM'd or messaged and commented saying, "Oh, if you need help with anything, just give us a shout." And I just thought that's cool. I love it when you get into like,
Mm.
well, like your community, their community. There's some really like genuinely amazing people out there,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's what I would love for the NFT world to be.
yeah, like together stronger and all that. Because you hear
Yeah.
these little punchlines all the time, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure how true it is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially like to be controversial, I think with female founders as well. Like I feel
Mhm.
that I don't know, and I find that in real life as well, not just in Web3, but whereas I think like it can be tougher being female in certain industries and whatnot, rather
Mhm.
than like helping each other up, they're trampling on each other to get up. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
feel like that, and I feel there's been spaces I've gone in Web3 that are a little bit like that, and
Mhm.
I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're being super nice to me now, but I'm like,
Cringe a little. Yeah.
yeah, it feels like false. And then
Yeah.
also I've been in female spaces where no matter how much you request to go up, they're not going to get you up to speak because you're not in the clique. You're not in the
Yeah.
girl
You're
gang.
not part of the clique, yeah.
No,
I hate
so
that.
I hate that too. So
Yeah.
it's a funny one that which yeah, it
I'm
is
for everybody. I want everybody to win.
not me. I just like
Everyone. I want everyone to win.
yeah,
Everyone who's good to win.
yeah, for sure.
Put it
That's
that way. So
definitely.
we have 190 people watching us.
Holy cow.
We've been going for about an hour now.
I know it's like
So where can we find you and where can we go mint?
okay, so shall I share my screen again?
Yes, share
See
it
if
again.
let me do it again. So cute and creepy gang.io. Let me do my screen share. It's annoying. It wouldn't let me share a whole window. It was giving me some sort of error message on the
We
sound.
gotta talk to Kevin. Kevin, you gotta fix this.
I think it's a Mac issue though. I think it's I don't know. I feel like it was a Mac
I just
OS
feel like it's Kevin. I'm gonna keep blaming
okay,
him.
we're blaming Kevin.
Yeah.
It's all right. I found it. So this is where you can go and mint.
Mhm.
It's is it going across? Here we go. Yeah, so that's where you can go mint. The 0.01 ETH, which is about $22, something like that.
Mhm.
Fraser's like wizard on the contract, so it's super gas optimized. So I think the other day someone said to me it was about 80 cents to mint 2 or 3. So like,
Yeah.
Gas is not an issue anymore. I feel like that's the
No,
thing.
gas is pretty low right now.
Yeah, it is pretty low. So yeah, no excuses. No excuses. But yeah, so that's where you can find us. I'm always on Twitter, like every day. So if you want to DM me anything, like just get in touch on Twitter. So we're the Cute and Creepy Gang on X. I'm Vicky Licious on X as well. Also Instagram, if anyone's on Instagram, I quite often put a lot of my whips, like my work in progress reels and stuff on there. And I've started doing a bit on TikTok, but I'm a bit new to that. So
Yeah, I can help you with that if you want. I have like I think like 30,000 followers on TikTok.
holy cow, really? So I've got about 100 because I've only been on there 5 minutes.
Yeah, my Instagram went up. I posted a couple of things the other day, and then I posted like a train of all the artwork, and I gained like another 15,000 followers.
Holy cow.
Yeah, let
So
me see. I'm
I'm
up
on
to
what am I? On Instagram, I'm Vicky Licious Designs, and then Cute and Creepy Gang's Cute and Creepy Gang, and I've got about 7,500 followers.
I have 85,000 now.
Holy shit balls.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? I can't transfer them into Web3.
No, so this has
This
been
is
like
strictly art.
yeah, they on Instagram, they're not interested in NFTs. I
Not
find
at all.
they it's a really difficult like transition. It's frustrating. So I've been talking a
Mhm.
lot to Fraser about this because I have like a Vicky Licious shop and I sell
Yeah.
like handmade cards and prints and t-shirts and pins, like all that sort of stuff. So those people are buying on my shop and they signed up to my newsletter and all that kind of stuff. I can't, and they'll sometimes see if I post like a freshly minted Luna Witch. Oh, wait,
They
are you going to be selling this? Where? And I can't seem to like get them to
they
kind
just
of.
won't do it.
They
Yeah,
just,
they just
they,
won't do it.
so I did think I'm maybe putting in like almost like a free claimable like NFT somehow with an order.
Mhm.
So like say you order a pin that you get like a little QR code and and somehow that they can do it through their email or like I don't know. Me and Fraser have been chatting about it because it might be a way if someone thinks they're getting something free and kind of get them in and you can sort of explain to them what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd be less frightened to then go on the website because like I say, you used to be able to like mint from a debit card, but when we upgraded the contract, you
Mhm.
can't. So Fraser's looking in the fix of that. Because we were surprised how many people minted from a debit card.
Yeah, I think it's much easier for
Yeah,
people to do
for
it
a lot
from
of people, especially
but
if
you
you're on
know
your phone as well. Like I
yeah.
think, you know,
I
but
think OpenSea does that now, though.
yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So so that's my thing, and I think I might start working on some like almost NFTs for dummies kind of
Yeah.
videos for Instagram maybe, and just talk about like what it means to own one, you know, what it is, how you do it, and just like
Yeah.
break it down. But I'm still not convinced that will even, you know, push
Now,
it across. I
listen,
am not convinced.
we've been doing this for more than 2.5 years now, trying to educate people on this. It's hard. You do get some people, but at the end of the day, it's hard. It's hard to convert people unless you're like
Yeah,
really, really talking to them.
yeah. Well,
You know what's
my
funny? My mom, like a couple days ago, she's like, "Can I just buy one with a credit card?" And I was like, "Yeah,
well, I suppose like now you're minted out and all your collections there to see and pick. It's easier,
yeah,
isn't it, on OpenSea to
yeah,
go on and buy with a debit card? You know,
yeah."
it's
It's
that
much easier.
much easier for people. But it was funny. It was because my friend said to me, "Oh, you've been talking to me for 2 years about this, and I still don't know what it is." And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." She's like, "I'd really like to own one, but I'm just
Yeah,
don't know how." And I was like, "Right, maybe there are people who, if you just showed them step by step,
you
they would."
have to show them step by step. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Maybe it's like a live thing you do where you talk through like,
Yeah,
"Come and learn how to set up a MetaMask one." I don't know,
yeah,
but I just feel like there's gotta be a way because 'cause you've got all those followers who are bought into the idea
yeah,
of what you're creating.
yeah. We'll
It's
leave
just
that for the next
spin
show.
that wheel.
That's what we'll do on the next show. On the next show you're having Wednesday.
Okay.
So what are we doing? Are we doing these shows every Wednesday?
Yeah, that was the idea, if that's okay with
Okay.
you. If you're
Yeah,
free and
yeah,
like kind
yeah,
of it's nice to just do an hour and not go crazy and,
yeah,
I'll them try and just do, like, an X space during the week as well.
yeah. And this
But
is your baby. Bring whoever you want in to talk. Do
well,
whatever
I
you want to
there's
do.
there's some really cool people who I've been thinking about.
Yeah,
I'd like to get some of the FTW crew on here. You know, they like Steve's NF Creeps is doing some cool stuff. So he's actually an official sketch artist for Tops now. So he's doing garbage pail sketch cards, and also he's list them on Emmy. Then you can buy with a card. Um, yeah, a good shout. But yeah, he's doing some cool stuff. He's also doing some stuff for V Friends and stuff. So he might be
yeah.
quite an interesting guy to get him talk. And then Wick's got a project. Who could like loads of them have got like collections out. And then
Yeah.
I think it might be nice to get some cool other female founders on if I can sort of connect with a few, see if they want to come and chat and, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, let's get more female artists. I mean, I know a bunch of female artists,
Oh, do you?
I would be interested to talk to you too, so maybe I'll reach out to them.
And
Yeah, we have
I'd like to get, like, Mason on and, like,
yeah, yeah,
Casey Words, that'd be really cool. Maybe Martek might, he's got a mint coming out, maybe you wanna come and
wherever
chat.
you want. Make me a list.
Yeah. I'll do you a list. I'll have to, like, hone my, like, DMing skills.
Yeah. No, this will be cool. I mean, it's good to talk about your project. It's good to talk to all the artists and creators because then you get different ideas, different
Yeah.
perspectives, and I love that. Mason is really, really good. He's a very good speaker, so,
Yeah,
um,
he's got a great,
yeah,
voice, the way he projects himself. When I'm listening to
yeah,
him on Spa listen to him talk all day on Spaces, he's, like, got such a
yeah.
good voice, yeah.
I suck at this.
No, you do not. I
Terrible.
love your show. You do not. You and Kevin make
Kevin
me
is the best one.
giggle so much, like, on it that
Don't
that
tell him that.
morning roast. Oh, Fraser says he's currently trying to find some free time to test Crossmin. Okay, cool. Brilliant. That's, Fraser. You're up late, dude. Just
No,
saying.
no, I'm good. Actually, it's
Fraser's
7
up late.
PM here.
You're all right. What time is it for you? 7:00? Something like
For me,
that?
it's 7 PM. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
good.
It's
For
midnight.
you, it's what? Midnight?
Midnight, yeah, just after. So
Perfect. No, I'm kidding.
I'm, like, literally living in a different time zone now. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm in the
So
UK, but I'm on US time.
I'm gonna get with Kevin because I do want him to see if we could do some sort of intro video for you or something,
Okay,
a
cool.
little better for the beginning, of the
Um,
show. And, next week we'll do it same time, same day, and we'll get some people to mint your stuff.
You guys are amazing. Thank you. I'm, like,
Absolutely.
honestly genuinely amazing, and thank you so much for doing this. It's just so cool.
And now we're gonna hang up on 207 people watching us.
Oh, geez, Louise. I don't know how I can. I'm, like, addicted.
Wait till you have to hang up on 4,700 and I don't remember how many were
Oh
there.
my god. Is that the biggest number you've had?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I think so.
That's
I
pretty
think it
epic.
was 4.7K, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that one of who you interviewed? Were you interviewing someone?
We were doing the Chumps Mint.
Ah, yeah, okay.
There was 4.7 thousand people watching us live. I mean, the mint went within 5 minutes, it was gone.
I
Less
know.
than
Well, I couldn't even get on
it's
to
crazy.
by the time I'd added 8 chains to my wallet, it was too late. So I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, no, it's all
yeah.
gone."
It'll be cool to talk to some of the Ape Chain guys too.
Yeah, they are
Once
cool
we do
'cause
our show.
they seem to have such a strong community, right?
Mhm.
I've been, like, hanging out in some of the
Yeah,
spaces 'cause it's just a really nice vibe.
it
Um,
is, I like it. Yeah,
yeah, I like it a lot. They're all super excited, and
yeah.
someone said it was like being at the beginning again, like in
Yes,
the
yes,
enthusiasm,
100%, yeah.
I was listening to someone talk today about it, saying like it's the most enthusiastic community out there,
Yeah, and it's
which
why
is
I wanna go into Ape Chain.
yeah, yeah,
We'll
it's a
get
good
there.
shout. And I suppose it's not a massive leap from being an ETH project to go to Ape, really. It's a layer 2, isn't it? So I
Yeah, it's a
suppose
layer 2. It's not that hard, no.
no.
I even thought at one point converting, the Ants Now V2 into Ape, but then I was like, maybe I'll just leave it," because it's good to also have different, cross-chain stuff, so
It is. I think I'm all for that for sure because, we're all here to
different
win.
communities.
I know, yeah, and it is different communities. Like, we've got,
Mhm.
the SDW have got, like, little collab, project on Base called the
Yeah,
SDW Monsters, which is, like, that's a little mint that
yeah,
we're doing, and that's on Base, and that again, they seem like the Base community seems
mhm.
pretty, like
They're pretty good too, yeah.
yeah.
Believe it or not, you know who has some really good artists? Solana.
Yeah, so I, have got quite a few Trippy Apes. I really
Mhm.
like those, they're really cool.
Yeah, they have some really good artists.
Yeah.
Alright, any final thought?
No, just I had loads of fun. This has been really cool. I can't wait to do it and hang out again and plan it net for next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks so much.
we'll
Thanks for
plan a
everything.
little better.
Now I can't believe 210 people. That's massive.
110, wow, yeah.
It's really
Alright,
cool.
well, good night, everybody. Make sure you go out and you look up Key and you get some of the cute and creepy, and, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for
Good night,
joining
everyone.
everybody. Amazing. Good night.